42 vans entered Vandemonium, and now we are down to the final 4.
Well, it was supposed to be the final 3, but someone had to go and open their big mouth.
I didn't jinx it.
Well, this was bound to happen. It always happens when vans are involved.
Ajax, you decided to join us for the finale?
I can't think of a happier moment in my life when these vans finally leave my track.
Well, I, for one, am thankful for the opportunity to take the lead.
And you've done a great job, buddy. You're a fan favorite for sure.
Aw, thanks, Dan05.
It's just too bad about your van.
What do you mean? What's wrong with my van?
Indy?
Hey, don't get me involved. That's a conversation for you to have. Besides,
what about my van?
you just get back to business here.
Yeah, good idea.
Guys, what happened to
With
my
last
van?
week's result, tonight will be an 8-lap final where the driver who has the most points at the end will be crowned as the one van to rule them all. Each of the 4 finalists have proven that their vans have what it takes to grab the points, but it all comes down to who can muscle their way through the pack and claim the crown. These guys are ready. How about we take our spots and get this final underway?
Ready, 905.
Yeah, let's get this over with.
All right, Indy. Care to do the honors?
Absolutely. Let's go up to the top of the trail. The Vandemonium final goes right now.
And it's a dream start for Variat from Variat Skunkworks. The gate drops and everybody comes down evenly, but then Road Rage gets bounced like the Kool-Aid man out from the side of the course there. Somebody must have switched his bumpers out for rubber as he just gets bounced. And then on the left-hand side, you see Mark D take on End Count, put him into the boards, but then spins out just before the jump. Variat noses his van down after the jump and pegs it, but he's able to rescue his run by flipping it backwards and backing across the line. That is a big gap of points that Variat just made up on our leader, End Count.
Variat breaks the proverbial seal by backing his van across the line to snag top points in race 1. Looks like somebody means business.
One thing I do know, wheels only work when they're under you.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you're looking for an excuse to be upside down.
Space is extremely limited out there on the trail with 4 wide coming out of the gate, and you can see that neither one of these drivers want to give an inch. Variat squeaks out ahead in front of Mark D, which pinches off End Count between him and Road Rage. That scrubs everybody's speed going into the jump, but you can see that Road Rage gets his van just ahead of End Count and is able to carry just enough speed to bounce his way over the front lip. That opens up the rest of the course for him, and he comes across the line for a big score, breaking his gap wide open between him and the leaders of this race.
Road Rage says to Variat, anything you can do, I can do better. He comes across the line and adds 11 points to his tally in race 2.
Randy, you told these guys this is a final, right?
Well, yeah.
Unbelievable! Mark D decides that he does not want to be left behind in this final as he makes a break for it on the right-hand side. The other 3 drivers scrap it out to the jump, but look at how smooth Mark D is over the jump. With clean air and nobody pestering him, you can see how well Mark D's Fandango can handle the whoops in the course. Mark's going full out because he barrel rolls himself across the finish line and looks back to see where his competition is. That's the 3rd separate winner in 3 different races.
And Mark D throws his name on the board with a flying leap across the line to snag himself a piece of the 11-point pie. Does End Count have an answer?
You guys sure are giving an inch out there today, are ya, eh?
Variat is an absolute wrecking ball this race. Out of the gate, he immediately targets Mark D, puts him into the boards, and shuts him down. But while Mark D is getting taken out by Variat, Road Rage is trying to take N-Count to task. He puts him into the boards, but it backfires as N-Count is way too savvy for that move. N-Count shunts him out of the way, and it's a two-horse race between Variat and N-Count. The next sequence shows just how much of a bully Variat is because he just pulls the same move as Road Rage did, but he gets underneath N-Count, flips him over, and then cruises across the line like it was nothing. If you'd have told me that Variat was going to take 2 of the first 4 races, I wouldn't have believed you, but I mean, maybe Walter called that.
What a run by Variat. Going into the break, he's not only closed the 8-point gap on N-Count, he's put everyone else in this final on notice.
Dude, you came in tonight tied for the right to be here. What kind of motivation do you need?
Mr. N-Count, I don't want to alarm you or nothing, but you might want to avoid looking at the scoreboard.
Look, I don't know if you're rattled by the fact that your name was upside down last week, but it's time to suck it up.
Just keep doing what you're doing, buddy. Don't worry about the other drivers and keep your focus. 4 more races to go.
Damn, I knew this was going to be close, but holy smokes.
Tell me about it. There's so much to unpack in that first half, like how these drivers are really fighting each other to seeing just how each driver takes the opportunities given to them.
There ain't a whole lot of space to begin with, but Variat has found a way to overcome that 8-point spread to squeak out a lead going into the second half.
Well, don't crown him just yet. We still have 4 races to go.
Fair point. So let's do this instead. Let's hand out some awards for Best in Show and the Yellow Snow. Now, I'm sure everyone watching is familiar with the Trail's Yellow Snow Award given out to the driver who scored the least amount of points during the opening round of the tournament. Well, this year was another first for us here, as we had a tie for last place, and each driver will be commemorated. Thank you to Walter the Baby Mammoth from Maple Sugar Motorsports and the Tortoise King from Polk County Diecast. You guys tied and, well, hey, you won. We hope to see both of you again in future events here at the Trail. Now for the Best in Show.
Why did we have to put it up to a vote?
Well, we were trying to be innovative and inclusive.
It was more because, we were just shamelessly trying to get channel views and comments.
Well, either way, we still had to invoke the judges as the community were stalemated between 2 vans. But first, we got some honorable mentions to go out to Cut Rocker for his Fandango, Scoob for his 8-wheeled mystery machine, Chicken George with the Monster Dodge, Jacques in the Postie van, and Dr. Dodge and the Sisters of Heavy Metal with their crazy custom creation. However, the voting was between Walter the Baby Mammoth's Hot Wheels High and Road Rage in his Disco Unlimited. All the vans submitted were incredible, and we just want to take this moment to thank everyone for submitting and racing with us. But the Best in Show goes to Road Rage and his Disco Unlimited. Congratulations, Road Rage. Your glittery van caught the attention of everyone. So let's hear it for the Disco Unlimited. It's been here an incredibly long time, and I bet this award at least is somewhat rewarding.
Now that we got that out of the way, how about we crown a champion? 4 races are all that remain. So let's get back up to the top of the trail for the start of the second half of these finals of Vandemonium.
Oh man, what a way to start the second half. This lap was packed with everything. Right out of the gate, Mark D takes exception to N-Count, tries to get in front of him, but unfortunately, N-Count pulls the same move as he did on Road Rage and shunts Mark D out of the way. But on the other side of the course, you can see Variat thinks he's got a free run, but he misjudges the landing and pegs it into the guardrail. Road Rage then sees his opportunity, swerves around Variat, and comes across the line with a beautiful run. Let's see this from the beginning because Road Rage seemed to have picked the perfect line, and really, he comes across for another big score to add to his total. I knew this final was going to be close, but holy smokes.
Clearly, Road Rage got the message coming into race 5. I don't know what's happened to Encount in this final, but he's in trouble of falling off the podium at this rate.
Mr. N-Count, might I suggest you try to see the world from Mark's eyes after the finals?
Variat tries to pull the same move as he did in race 2 of the first half. He comes down and cuts in front of Mark D, but it ends with the same result as in race 2. Variat obviously has the fastest van in the finals here, but we've seen time and time again that speed doesn't necessarily equate to victory here at the trail. It's consistency that pays off, and that's something that we've seen earlier on in the tournament as well. And a couple of these drivers in the final have used it to their advantage to get to this point. The only consistency we're going to see in this lap, though, is everybody's going to run away with 5 points.
This was a smart play by Variat here. He makes sure that everyone only collects 5 points, which puts him that much closer to the championship.
Huh. Well, ain't that just something to see?
Now that was a race. 3 of the 4 drivers finally get good runs down the trail. As you can see, Variat here unfortunately pulls my example of consistency as he pegs it into the wall and dumps it into the gap of the course. The other 3 drivers make a break for the finish line, and they actually come in 1, 2, 3 and are able to put some big points up to their scores. There's 1 race remaining, and by the looks of it, it's going to come down to the wire.
It may have taken until race 7, but things just got interesting as Road Rage pulls into a tie with Variat going into the final race.
Mr. Variat, I just want to say that it's been an honor rescuing you.
And just like that, Variat from Variat Skunkworks has bookended this finals with a run across the line. When the pressure was mounting, he was able to get his rig back across the line in the first race and now the last race for 11 points. That pushes him past everybody else to take the crown in this tournament, Vandemonium.
And after 8 races, Variat has found himself across the line one more time to grab maximum points in this final. But what does this mean for the overall scores? After the first half of racing, Variat held a slim 4-point lead over Mark D. Encount had slipped to 3rd after a lackluster performance, and Road Rage wasn't even in the picture as he was 11 points back. He wasn't necessarily out of it, but he was pretty close. That all turned around after the break, as it's Mark D who's the one that just misses out on the podium, while Road Rage actually leapfrogs Encount to snatch the silver by 1 point. But the hero of the day is Variat, as his magical run in this finals not only sees him overcome an 8-point deficit, but he did so in the very last race.
Randy, don't you dare move those vans. As soon as I climb down, I'm gonna get the snowcat and dispose of them like they should have been. Ajax, calm yourself. Jeez. Just get Road Rage and N-Count down here for the ceremony.
That was a phenomenal final, and it was so close.
Definitely one of the closest finals we've had.
4 drivers do make for a crowded course though.
But it's so entertaining. I can only imagine that the Variat Skunkworks team will be up super late tonight celebrating this victory. I'll be celebrating when I don't have to deal with these vans anymore.
What did you do to Randy's van, by the way?
Don't worry about it.
Ajax?
I just started cleaning up early. By the way, I'm really looking forward to this next event. Way to change the subject. Oh, it's gonna be a gas.
Oh god.
Well, that's it for tonight. Congratulations again to Variat for winning Vandemonium. And a huge thank you to all the builders who sent in vans. You were all truly fantastic. Keep an eye on this channel as we have our next event coming up, the Great Canadian Snowgasm. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss an episode. Signing off one last time from Vandemonium, I've been your host 905, and on behalf of Indy Rain, Ajax, and Randy, thank you so much for watching, And for the love of diecast, keep racing. We'll see you next time.
Aw, come on.